the mind has to, according to the Buddhists, it has to be aware of something. Yeah, it can't not be aware of something. You can, I mean, that's a great debater. You can debate that for the rest of your life, probably. It has to be aware of something. Yeah, and the highest realization in Dzogchen is it's aware of itself. Mm. So our minds are going to be cognitively engaged on something, whether we like it or not. So the practice of the Dharma is to fill your mind and attune it constantly to the highest truth. I mean, but the words themselves are irrelevant. So that's why we start off with what a Sufi is. Sometimes it can be helpful to understand what a Sufi is not. Yeah. So a Sufi is not someone who can't go into a church because I'm a Buddhist and that's a false god. That's not a Sufi. Yeah. It's like, or someone who practices Christianity, but they can't go into a mosque because that's a different god. That's not a Sufi. Yeah. It's great. That's their right to have that state of mind and to practice in that way. But that's not a Sufi. Now we can, someone who practices the Dharma by going to meditation, learning disciplines, and then criticizes others for not being kind, that's not a Sufi. Yeah. Someone, but we're very lucky. We've got this group of comatose people in our culture at the moment. I think it's called woke. Yeah. Who just constantly try and bring people down with by conceptually designating areas of other people's behavior in which they can't do, and if they do, they're bad people. Yeah. But every era has witch hunters. This is our era of witch hunters. Yeah. Yeah. So we have to be careful that we don't have a set of we all have a set of conceptual conditionings which we then judge other people by. Yeah. Like, oh, they're not practicing meditation as much as we do. That's not a Sufi. Yeah. Oh, they do. Oh, why don't they do prostrations? Or why do you have to do prayer? That's not a Sufi. Yeah. That's someone who has conceptual ideas, projects them onto other people, and judges them. Yeah. So a Sufi is someone who, wherever they go, they extract the goodness from the situation. Yeah. Even they can go to the most kind of depraved spiritual gathering, and they'll find something where you can see the light of God working, and they'll take it on board themselves and learn from it. So it's basically everyone, everything, every place is a teaching. Yeah. That's a Sufi. And it's like you'll always have people who criticize you. Yeah. It's like one sheikh said, if you walk on water, they'll be like, but he got his feet wet. It's like there's always someone who's got that mind. That's not a Sufi. Then we have to watch when we do that. Yeah. So you watch an amazing film and you just said before, like the amount of people involved to make a film, the amount of leisure and comfort that we have, unprecedented in the history of humankind, that you can spend just time to just watch this storytelling in the most elaborate form with all these beautiful people dedicating their lives to create this form. And it's like an amazing film, but there was like 1 minute of it that you didn't like, and you're like, oh, that was unrealistic. This is not a Sufi. Yeah. We want to take as our main practice, not judging and celebrating. So it's how to find the positive in any situation. So it's not easy. And so you don't want, you'll find you'll judge, if this is part of the training, you'll judge when someone doesn't do it. You judge and so, oh, you were judging. It's like, so it's very tricky. We know it's like we just got to keep turning it inwards. We've just got to keep relating to other people as enlightened. This is training on Lojong. Everyone you meet is enlightened and you're not.